Chris Lee, Blake Lovell, and Blaine Gilmore of Southeastern 14 here for our bold predictions for SEC football season for each team. Today, we reach the Arkansas Razorbacks. Blake, let's start with you. Your bold prediction for Arkansas football this year.
Well, I'm gonna, I don't know, go the I don't think it's an easy choice, but I'm gonna start at the position that gets the most attention. And all we've been talking about this offseason is what is KJ Jefferson going to look like in this offense this season? Dan Enos is there, and as you know, Chris, we talked about it at SEC Media Day. Heard a lot about, he's going to throw the ball a little bit more, maybe not have to run the ball as much, and definitely his top priority, I think he said, was staying healthy this season and being on the field and not taking as many of those big hits. And I think they're going to allow him to do that this season in this offense. And I think this offense is going to allow KJ Jefferson to be the offensive player of the year in the SEC this season. That is my bold prediction. I think that he is going to have a fantastic season. I just think, again, I'm very intrigued by how they're going to use him in this new offense. We know kind of how versatile he is, and I think just all the different things he can do. And I just feel like this is that kind of season for him, is staying on the field and being able to, just go out and put his team in position to win. And I think that's what this guy can do, and he'll put up the numbers to support that. So give me KJ Jefferson for SEC Offensive Player of the Year.
Okay, Blake, we were at SEC Media Days, start to finish. Was there another Arkansas player on offense in which the hype train was in full speed ahead mode?
Yes, the man who, gained how many pounds and has gotten faster, I believe.
I think he gained 50 pounds and shaved half a second off his 40 time.
I think he gained 128
like
pounds of muscle. I think it was 128 pounds of muscle. His 40 time is like 2.3. Isn't that how these stories go? Like, they eventually just get to this point? That's what we're going with.
Pretty much.
Okay, he weighs 408, 308 of that's pure muscle, and he can outrun anyone. So, Rocket Sanders, please continue.
Well, and Sam Pittman was not pumping the brakes on the hype train one bit. Can't say I blame him. Rocket Sanders is going to have a fantastic year. And Blake, if your prediction and my prediction are both right, it's going to be a nice season for Arkansas if the Razorbacks can defend the lick, because I've got Rocket Sanders maybe not winning the Heisman, but I've got him going to New York to sit on the finalist stage. So I think that's the kind of year Rocket Sanders is going to have. It is not an easy way for a running back to go to New York. Running backs are sort of undervalued these days compared to what they were when we grew up, but that's how good Rocket Sanders is. This season is going to be good enough that he is going to be on the stage in New York. Maybe not getting the Heisman, but he'll be close enough to get invited. Blaine, we have made some very bold predictions for Arkansas. What is your bold prediction?
That one is for sure bold, Chris, because they have two other talented running backs in Rashad Dubinion and A.J. Green, who may eat into some of his carries at certain times. So that could be what derails yours there. But, Blake, I'm going to piggyback kind of on both of y'all's because it kind of feeds into one of mine. I got one for offense and one for defense. My one for offense is that Dan Enos, in his return to Arkansas, becomes a finalist for the Broyles Award for the best assistant football coach in the land. I think his system is going to fit KJ Jefferson much better. Listen, when you're going so fast like they've been going, Chris, you've talked about in other videos, the pace of play, that can't be good for a quarterback that's over 245 pounds. You got to be huffing and puffing a little bit, okay? Let's let the man get under there, identify a mic, get a breath, all that kind of stuff. Get some play action where you actually turn your back to the defense, hide that ball a little bit, and then use that big arm, and then can scramble a little bit when you need to. But I think that all of that with Rocket Sanders, with Bo Limmer up there at the controlling with all that experience on the offensive line, with the physicality they're going to play with. I like the additions at wide receiver. I think Tesla and Armstrong are underrated in the additions that they made just because they came from smaller levels of college football. I really like what I've seen video-wise out of there. So I think Dan Enos, Broyles Award finalist. That's my first bold prediction. Second one is, you mentioned if they could defend a lick. I'm telling you, they're going to be able to, because they're not going to sit back in a lot of this zone, that 3-2-6 funky looking thing that they were doing under Barry Odom. As the kids say, Travis Williams is going to bring the smoke. He wants the smoke, okay? And he's going to play some man coverage. They've got Landon Jackson. They've got guys up front that can get after the quarterback. They actually led the SEC in sacks last year. They got after the quarterback, but I think they're going to be able to cover on the back end and be able to play some more single high and man coverage on that end. Be very aggressive. My bold prediction is that this is the best scoring defense in the Sam Pittman era to date, and they go from being 105th in the country in that metric to a top 25 scoring defense in the country.
Okay, Blake, if we're right about our offensive predictions, all of us, Arkansas will score how many points this year?
I don't know, quite a bit. Yeah, they've got the potential. We've talked about it in our previews and everything. Yes, I know that you can probably be a little pessimistic because based on the past, well, can we really get to that next game? Absolutely. They've got the talent to do it. And so when you combine those two guys as the starting point with KJ Jefferson and Rocket Sanders, and like Blaine mentioned, you got other running backs, you got guys all over the board. I think they can really contribute on this team. So they're going to put up some points. I'd be surprised if they're not calling the Hogs quite a bit in terms of how many points they put up this season. So.
Well, the West is going to be amazing this year, and we're going to be here for every bit of it. And best way for you to see what we do is hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. That helps our analytics. And most of all, leave your comments for us. Are we off our rocker with our predictions? Do you have a better one? Let us know your takes on Arkansas. And if Arkansas is not your team, we're getting around to your team. We've either already done your team with bold predictions, or we'll be getting to that again. Subscribe so that you catch all those and enable your notifications. For Blake Lovell and Blaine Gilmer, I'm Chris Lee. We're Southeastern 14. We'll see you again soon with more SEC football content.